Everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications for when we go live, tap the bell. Go live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes after market close. If you want to get connected to the UVH fam, the UVH community, hit the links below. We got it's our free options trading group and also our Discord if you want to chat that way. It's easy to connect. Just hit the links below. It's free. And here I see Mateo, Jeff, FC, Kit. What's going on? If you're here right now, say what up. Yo, Josh, what's going on, man? Alex, what's going on? Drucka, Brendan, Mateo. I gotta refresh my stuff here. Spy still needs to break 267.83 to confirm the weekly consolidation underway. Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today. Is the market digesting the move? And we're getting some people in here. Stream looks good. You think so? What's so good about it? I didn't do anything different than like last week or anything. I mean, the PC has been great. No complaints. Ahmed, what's going on, Baron? That's best quality so far for me. I don't know why all of a sudden. I don't know why either. my hat looks great. Yeah, I mean, I got the I got the gel in today. Anything on ACB earnings yet? Let's see. Looks like you got the conference call going on right now. I don't know really what the ACB Aurora Cannabis. Yeah, nothing. I don't know if they beat or anything like that. I don't really follow ACB that much, and I'm sorry, Joyce. Parida. I don't know. Is there something I can call you? Can I call you JP? I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher that. Hey Jordan, what's going on? If you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. We'll get things kickstarted here. If you guys didn't know, last week I came off a losing week, so today if you didn't watch the stream on Friday, I really addressed kind of what went wrong in the last few weeks and what I'm going to do to change it. And today I stayed disciplined. I did exactly what I said I was going to do on Friday. Today, if we take a look here, I'm down $10 on these, collectively. I made $1 on IBM. I'm down 11. Nothing's been realized, but I'll go over these trades here in a second here. Very, very difficult to pronounce. Okay, I'm gonna call you JP. I'm sorry. Alex, learn a lesson with GE puts. I don't know what did GE do today? Did they rise up? I know. What did GE do today? I mean, they went up 2%, nothing crazy, but I mean, this is what we missed right here. That crack at 10. That crack at 10 should have showed on Friday. That would have been the play. But I think GE is a tough one just because like it's dropped so far, and someone thinks it's a good deal, so it goes up, but then the company says, you know, they say they're not doing as bad as they thought, but essentially, I mean, the business is what the business is. Learned a lesson, lost $9. FC got paid on ES, SPX, and ATVI. Kit, ATVI has earnings coming up. Was it tomorrow? Oh, jeez. Yeah, they had layoff. They had layoff news over the weekend. I don't know. I don't have that earnings sheet. It's a Tuesday. ATVI. They said they were going to be laying off people over the weekend. It's kind of funny how that went over the weekend and dropped like 10% in a day. pretty crazy. I don't know what's the volume on these guys here. Don't normally trade. Yeah, volume is pretty good on ATVI. I don't know why. It's just something I don't really trade that, but I should. I mean, I'm really about the video game industry. I know a lot about it. I don't know why I don't trade it. You think it would be a good fit, but I just haven't. And that's the thing about the market, like especially like as newer traders, there's like, oh man, there's so many opportunities in here, and there's so many places you can make money on any company. You can do it at any time. But in reality, where you really make the money is narrowing in on a select thing to do. I mean, if you put $5 here, $5 here, $5 here, $5 here, you're most likely going to lose it all. You know, you're not going to be able to make money that way. Yeah, FC, that's what I thought. Tomorrow after close. So I'll go over man. I'll go over my trades and what I did and why I did it. What do you think of EA? EA. I'll get to EA in a second. Manny, let's get through the trades here. I'll get through the 2 trades that I did. It's not going to take that long, and then we'll talk about EA. We'll talk about Blizzard. We'll talk about the S&P, and then any other questions or stocks that you guys want to talk about. But anyways, so I did a trade on Microsoft and IBM. And I kind of wanted to take it easy today and not get too crazy. You know, I said what I'm going to be doing is really just doing a 1 to 2 position at a time, maybe 3, depending on how the market goes, and just taking it nice and slow, no day trades, mostly just swing trading, and just really just taking it easy and narrowing on specific trades that I think that I'm gonna make money on, obviously. So the first trade I did today for $1.11, and as you guys know, like, premium has gotten really cheap over the last like week or so. I mean, VIX is at what, 16 right now, but I feel like if VIX at 16, let's see, let's pull up VIX here. It's at below 15 after hours here. Where's the yeah, I mean, I feel like the one thing that I will say, when VIX was like down in here in November and December, and now we're back down here again, I feel like it's way more cheaper right now in here than it was in here for some reason. I don't know. I'd have to look back and take a look at the videos that we did and see how much these trades were costing us. But I have a feeling, for some reason, I feel like options are way cheaper right now, even though VIX is right here, and even though it's been here in the past, that they're, I don't know. I just felt like premium was cheaper today, because I put on these both for under $1.20 each, and I rode right like near the money there, right at the money. Staying focused is if I were less underlying, this work for me. Yeah. So what I did on Microsoft is I bought the 105 put, the 108 call for $1.11 for this week. Let's get Microsoft. And what I was looking here, one thing that, if you guys haven't been trading Microsoft over the last few weeks, right around the 107 area, right up in here, we have some major problems. So we had hit like 107, 108 area here, had moved down, hit it here, moved down, hit it here, move down, and then it just kind of like seems weaker and weaker, and I think that we're going to have some down moves soon, which is why I went on the short side. So if you look at my trades here, let's get Microsoft up. You know, right now I'm riding here. It didn't really, I'm down, what am I down on here? I'm down $11 because really we just went sideways all day. Like, I put these positions on at 10 in the morning. So I mean, I didn't even like I didn't trade market open or anything. I was very patient. But even though, because it was going down towards the end of the day, there was just a lot of chop. But like, if you're down 10 to 20% on a trade, you don't really get too concerned, because your trades are always going to swing like plus or minus 10%. I mean, I was up $9 on it earlier. Now I'm down 11. It's really relative. You have to give it some leeway when you're trading options, because if you don't, the trades, you're going to get too emotional about it. Like, most trades will go up like go up or down like plus or minus 10 to 25% at any given time, just because option pricing is kind of crazy. Option pricing is crazy, and there's a lot of factors in there. So, you know, you have to put on trades that you're comfortable with and understanding that there's going to be a swing from green to red, especially right when you put a position on, because not enough time has gone by where you can make enough money unless you did, like, you know, unless, let's say you put a put on and something crashed or something like that. I mean, yes, you could do that, but most times you put a position on, especially if you're swing trading. If you're swing trading, most times you're going to put a position on. It's going to go up. It's going to go your way. It's going to go against you. You know, so you kind of just have to make sure you're playing by, you know, what your original plan was. So my plan was to kind of fade this gap up, which it did, and I thought it was going to go down a little bit more. We only Microsoft only closed 42 cents down on the day, and really was holding this 105. It did touch 105 earlier. But what I'm looking for is kind of like a retracement down to like 104, maybe even 103. It depends. I mean, this was a pretty strong move this other day from 102 to 105. So who knows? We got some crazy things happening this week, such as, you know, the government shutdowns back on deck. We got earnings again. So I went short. And also the other reason why I went short on these positions is, like I said, is because VIX being down here, it seems like we're back in bounce territory where this is like the new range. So I'm trading the ranges. Like, if you guys haven't noticed, I'm very much a range trader, very much support and resistance trader. JDM, careful, I wrote contracts on Microsoft. Well, come at me, bro. Come at me. Come at me. I'm ready for you. But I'm going low and slow this week. I mean, I'm not trying to make thousands of dollars this week. What I'm looking to this week is to increase my win rate after coming off a little bit of a losing streak. You want to just start slow, increase your win rate, and, you know, take it easy. You don't want to be trying to make you don't want to try to make all your money back in one day or 2 days or even a week. It depends how much you lost, but you just want to take it easy as opportunity comes. And like today, like the market, like SPY was kind of flat. I mean, this is kind of flat. You don't want to get too crazy, because sometimes the market doesn't give you the opportunities that you can to make the money back. Some days the opportunity is just not there. Some days you just gotta take it easy. And that's what it was. The other trade I did was IBM. I went short as well, but it's a little bit tighter. For $1.12, I got the 134 put, the 137. And the reason why I've been buying, like on Microsoft, I got the 108 call, and then on IBM, I have the 137 call. And if we're looking, the reason why I did that was for protection, because I don't believe, I mean, it could happen that if Microsoft breaks above like 107.50, 108 area, it's going to go fast, because that's been a resistance for a few weeks now. Like the 107 area, like every time Microsoft has been up in like the 107 area, it's dropped to like 106, 105 in recent times. So I put it a little higher to give myself protection, and also the protection was a little bit on the cheap side. And then on IBM, I did the same thing. I got the 137 call. Sorry, the 137 call. So if it breaks above like 136, sure, we'll probably see like 138 area, which we can make some money back. But I mean, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna have to want to fill this gap here from 137-ish area to like 140. And in that case, if it does try to fill the gap, yes, we'll make money. It's gonna take us probably like all week to get there, but that's what we're gonna have to do. You know, I think that, you know, this position, I was hoping for like a return down to like the 130 area. It did close below 134. It closed at 133.99. So, you know, the goal on this was to close at like 133, 132.50 is the goal. Buzz, not yet. I was just going through a couple of my trades here. I killed it on EA Sports as well. Nice. Need to hit the chiropractor. My neck is a little cramped. how many days you sell. So, so that being said, I only had 2 trades a day. Just was really taking it easy, just kind of coasting. And let's talk about SPY, SPX. Do you guys prefer if I use SPY, or do you guys prefer if I use SPX? Let me know when talking about the overall health of the S&Ps. Good, let's see if we can go down so we can buy back. You guys like it? Because I know for a while I was using SPX just because, I don't know, in my mind I prefer SPX. I think just because of the number and the true value number of it, but but you guys might get a little confused. I mean, it's really the same thing. I mean, if you're looking at SPY, then you look at SPX. I mean, we're looking at the same chart, really. So it doesn't really matter. But we'll talk about SPY. Excuse me. Now, the one thing that I did say about last week that I was concerned about, and today I wouldn't say it was like confirmation for me, but we kind of had a flat day to kind of like a stubborn day where it was going from red to green to red to green, and really wasn't trying to, you know, it couldn't decide where to go. And after like a move like this, you know, we went down fast, we went up fast, like, you know, the market needs time to kind of figure out what it wants to do. Like, what's the true valuation of the market right now? What's the true valuation of the market with the current events? What's the true valuation with earnings going on right now? Like, what? And sometimes the market takes a breather, and like traders get pissed because like, hey, we're making money in all this volatility, and then the market kind of stops and takes a break, and traders like, oh, I'm not making as much money, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. But like at the end of the day, like, for the market to be tradable again, it has to digest the moves, like whether you like it or not. It just can't go down and then go back up and then go down and then go back up. Like that's not healthy. If we're going straight down, we're in big trouble. If we're going straight up, we're going to be in big trouble. Eventually, you know, you pay for that. And then when it takes a break like it is right now, like it went up a little bit, down a little bit, but overall in the last week we've had a range of, let's say, 268 and 73. So SPY's only had like a $5 range in the last week or so, which isn't great. Like back in here, it was going up from 57 to 63 in just like 3 days. So, you know, it's really, yeah. And SPX closed at upper $1.92. Slowest I've seen Amazon in a long time. Yeah, I mean it was a slow day. Like you wouldn't. Today is not the kind of day that you want to go and like, hey, I want to try to make my money back today that I lost last week. Like, you don't want to do that because you're just going to spend money. And even though I feel that I had the right positions on, you know, Microsoft, I mean, we lost money to the sideways movement. I mean, I lost $11. I mean, unrealized gains, of course, unrealized losses, but still, I mean, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. And if you went in big, let's say I'm going to do like 10, 20 contracts of Microsoft, I mean, you can lose $100, $200 really easily. So, you know, what the market's doing right now is very healthy. The one thing that I would say, like on Friday, what I'd be concerned about is these highs, making lower highs. And I talk about this a lot where, you know, it's very bearish when stocks keep making lower highs. And if you say here, it made a high up here, and come down here, made a high here. Now the question is this going to be a high? Is 273, what is this, 273, 273.40, 273.50 a high? If this becomes a high, we're going to be in we're going to be in trouble. You know, like, I pull up Facebook a lot because this was the easy one where it kept making lower highs here. See, lower high, and it kept just descending, and that's what that looks like. And if you're looking at SPY or SPY, that could happen. Now we could shoot up to 275, sure, and then make a run at 280. But honestly, like 280 looks really dicey, and I think the closer that we get to 280, like if we push to like 275, I think it's gonna go like slow. It's not gonna go fast. We're not gonna like break through and try to like bust through. I think that it's going to be a very slow grind to 280. We might even have sideways. It might try to go to 274 again, 275, come back down a little bit. I think that it's just going to be sideways movement until we can get some clear direction on, you know, what the government wants to do. Like if the government does nothing, the shutdown, I mean, we got the walls, we got the elections coming up. What else we got? We got some earnings. I think, what was the, oh man, I should pull up the earnings. Let's see if I can pull that up. Earnings. Where are you? Download. Okay. You know, when looking at the earnings, the companies that are reporting, oh, this is the wrong one. Sorry. Oh man, I'm terrible. Is this it? Yes, this is it. Okay. Anyway, so, you know, when looking at these earnings, you know, like last couple of weeks we had earnings for Amazon, we had earnings for Google, we had earnings for Facebook, there was Apple, there was all the banks, there was all the airlines. And then if you look at like this, like, yeah, I mean, this is kind of crowded. Sure, there's a lot of companies, but like companies like Shopify and Activision and Teva and Cisco and Nvidia and Denny's and Six Flags, like if you look at this, they're not going to have enough weight to kind of pull us, you know, good or bad. I don't think they're going to have enough weight. I mean, John Deere maybe would have some signs for like maybe like a Caterpillar or something like that, but overall, you know, I think we're going to have a hard time. Like earnings, I think earnings catalysts is kind of over with now. You know, you're going to have Jerome will be speaking at the Hope Enterprise Corporation. Looking forward to that. I want to be the first one to hear that. Sounds like a great time. So, I mean, right now, I feel like there's the market's really in a holding pattern, waiting for its next catalyst, which could be a good catalyst, could be a dangerous one, it could be terrible, it could be something that, like, you know, we could be I mean, I don't know. It's hard to speculate. Like, you don't want to speculate too much because, like, when you're sitting there in front of the computer and you're thinking about your trades, you know, your mind can go up, and then one day you realize, hey, man, Trump got arrested and America went into the Great Depression. You know, that's kind of where your brain starts to take you. Like, if you think about it too much, your brain starts taking you down this road, down this path where you just start imagining things, and it's not healthy. It's not good for you to start thinking about, like, crazy things happen, because most times it's not going to happen. Most times it could happen. Things could happen. Things could get crazy, but, you know, yeah, China talks. Yeah, they keep saying China talks. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? They keep saying, hey, we're going to keep the engagement going with China. Is that like, hey, I call up my buddy across the sea and say, hey man, let's talk about this? Or is it like, hey, I want to talk about trade, and then they say, no, thank you. You know, or hey, let's talk about this, and they say no thank you. Like, what does that mean? Just because someone's talking doesn't mean they're listening. You know what I mean? Like, just because someone's saying something doesn't mean that anything's actually being done. I mean, no deals has been made. I mean, how many times in the last 4 months have they said trade deal on deck? You know, Trump's gonna meet with so and so, and instead he's gonna meet with the North Korean president, or what is he? What is he? What do they call him? I don't even know. I don't think he's a president. He's like I don't know if I could say dictator on YouTube, but you know, I don't know what the correct term is. Like, I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. Yo, Brian, what's going on? If you're new here, say what up. Definitely want to meet you. Keep stalling more. So yeah, I mean, right now the market's in a holding period. Earnings were kind of not so great. I mean, they were okay, but they were. I mean, some companies like Apple, you know, they lowered guidance, and you know, Nvidia lowered guidance, and Nvidia I think's in trouble because they got caught up in the crypto hype, and everyone was buying those GPUs to mine and stuff. But now mining crypto is not profitable. Crypto is not profitable. So what's going to happen to those GPUs? You know, they're going to start stacking up in the warehouses and not going to sell them. And then the price of GPUs went up, and people thought they were going to make a lot of money. And now Nvidia's going to have to cut prices on GPUs. I mean, I think Nvidia is going to have a little bit of a rough time. So, who was that? Who has Nvidia position in here? Tobin, what's going on? Chairman Kim, chairman of North Korean Kim. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm running on like a few hours of sleep, so. Oh, Rich. Well, Rich, I hope it works out, man. Like, you gotta hedge your position there. Nvidia, someone will say we'll talk about CGC. Yeah, Nvidia. I mean, this is like a ugly chart. Ugly chart. Ugly. You went. Rich went. Rich, what's your position? I averaged down. You're the 160s. You know, the one thing that I would be cautious about when buying calls is when you buy calls, you probably don't want to buy it from the last point that it dropped if that becomes like a new high. And if you're looking at this chart here, you I mean, this could easily come back down to 100 very easily. I mean, look how quick it went from 100 to 146. This could go down to 100 even faster. It could even go down, like, some people might not believe this. It can go down to 100 in a day. It can go down to 100. We could open at 146 and by noon we'd be down at 100. It could happen if it gets some bad press and some things are going like this. This was overdone. This was all based on, I feel, the future of crypto, and that right now is not looking very good. And now the price is starting to reflect. The price is starting to reflect it because now that the earnings are starting to catch up and say, hey, people, this is not going as well as it should have been going, and now the price is catching up. But like when buying calls, like, you got to be careful. I think the 160s wouldn't have been the first choice. From 385 now 255. I don't know, man. This is going to be tough because they already had earnings. What's the next catalyst that's gonna propel them? I mean, they're probably gonna face some. They've already had some downgrades. Gonna be in trouble here, and I don't like buying calls at like the last point that it dropped majorly. Like this could become a new high. It could try to go to 156 again and drop back down, and this is like still a very descending pattern here. You know, we're still very descending pattern here. So, you know, like what's your goal, like for it to go to 160 then to like 175, or like, because right now it's hard to buy calls or any position at like resistance, or if you're shorting at like support. Like would I buy puts at like 130, or would I buy puts like when it's at like 160, you know, like when it's up here? Like would I say, okay, I want to buy the 130, like if I want to buy the 135 puts, I think 140 puts would be way better than like the 135, because then you have some wiggle room, you know? So CMG went plus 20. Well, I think for Rich, you said it seems like the bottomed out, but you got to look, once it breaks the 1 year, like the 1 year chart is broken. The 1 year chart's broken. You got to throw it away. When you break the 1 year chart, you got to go to the 2 year chart. And we could face multi-year lows. Like here, like if you're looking at, let's see here, from November to November. Let's just look at November to November. Based on this 1 year chart from November to November, you'd be like, oh, well, this bounced down in here last time. Looks like it went up. Oh, looks like it's going to go back up. and it then broke that support. So that's why you got to be very careful with bottoming out, especially one that 1 year chart is broken. Like, you got to be very careful, because this could easily, like I said, this could easily be $100. You can go to 120 really easily. I mean, so you gotta be very careful. That's all I'm saying. When the 1 year chart is broken, you gotta go to the 2 year chart, check things out, scope things out. You gotta be very careful. So I don't know, man. Rich, I don't know. If it were me, I would probably take the L, take the cash back. If they're still worth 255, I'd take it. And if it goes to 160 or whatever, you know, there's always going to be more opportunity. You know, I talk about it a lot, like rotation in the market, where sometimes you get in a bad rotation and you don't necessarily realize it until like it's too late. And the best way to reset rotation is to take a break from it, and then re-enter the market after a few days, after a week or two. You know, whatever it takes to get to where you think. Like, if you're looking at, like, some people end up in a bad rotation. I've been in bad rotations many times before. You know what I mean like that is, like, if you're looking at SPY here, and let's say down here, bad rotation, let's say you caught some FOMO, whatever it is. Obviously now in hindsight, it's like, makes perfect sense. But in the heat of the moment, like when we're all trying to analyze all our fancy charts and all our fancy lines and all this, when we're trying to figure out where it's gonna go, like, in the heat of the moment, we may not make the best decisions. We may get in a bad rotation. In this case, let's say on November 5th, right? You were thinking about entering a bullish position, and then on November 7th, we gapped up and it was just running hot. It was running hot. And you're like, oh man, with this kind of momentum, we're going to easily break up through 280. You know, you buy some calls, and those calls get slammed down, right? You get slammed down. You're like, okay, well then I'm going to take some pain here. Okay, I took some pain after a couple of days. I'm going to short. And then after you short, it rips it up, slams you again, and then you're like, okay, well now I'm gonna get long again because it's gonna recover back up to 280. It slams you again. So that's what I mean by being in bad rotation, is where you put a position on at the wrong time and you're kind of snowballing. Like, whether you're playing defense or you're trying to make a trade work out, or sometimes your first entry may have just been a terrible entry. You may not be able to make it out. Sometimes it's best to just say, hey, I'm going to cut that. We're going to reset. We're going to start over. That's the best thing to do. Because if you keep trying to play off your original play here, like I just gave you that example, like, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to have a hard time making money, and you're going to get double or triple whammied, and that's not good. Yo, Richard, what's going on? Glad you're here. Get those deals, man. Us versus Herd. I wish Coke would sponsor me. That would be actually, I don't. I take it back. For my health, I gotta stop drinking Coke. But I gotta figure out, I'm not addicted to Coke, I'm addicted to caffeine. So I need something that's not coffee to give me that buzz, but like not like a Monster or a Red Bull or something, you know, not something that's gonna sometimes, and it seems like Coke is like enough just to get you over that little tired hump in the afternoon. As you guys can see, I'm looking a little, my eyes are a little baggy today. I'm looking a little run down. I only got 3 to 4 hours of sleep last night, so okay. LaCroix and coffee, man. Have some tea. Tea's a good idea. Tea's a good idea. Rich, I think we just covered it. I'm looking for some consolidation in this area before it tries to figure out what it wants to do. So kind of what I talk about, like the market's just digesting the move that these massive moves here. So let's talk about, there's someone that want to talk about EA, CGC. Let's look at EA. not EA. All right. Now, EA, oh man, they closed red. Oh man. So I actually shorted EA on Friday. It didn't work out. And EA, they haven't been doing very well, as you guys can see over the last few months, and they've been having issues with their games. You know, Battlefield 5 was a mess. They're not making as much money, blah, blah, blah. You know, you can read about it on Google. That being said, they launched Apex Legends a couple days ago or last week, and the game has been on fire, massive reviews, 10 million players in like 72 hours or first week or whatever. I think it was like 10 million players in the first 72 hours. And, you know, they're kind of comparing it to Fortnite. And you always kind of get suspicious when they start saying like, you know, it's the Fortnite killer and it's doing this. It's going to, you know, Fortnite's got like, what, 300 million players right now. And it's been the #1 game for like 2 years. So you got to be careful about that. So I was trying to short the hype train, but then it was too much too soon. Like it just kept going up. Like there's a lot of people were buying the stock, right? And then today it kind of finally caught up with them. So I think that for EA to really recover, we're gonna need to get those Apex Legends numbers in, because a lot of things impact it, right? So what's impacts it? It's a free to play game. So that means it costs you no money to download it. It costs you no money to play. You could just go on the day. Like I downloaded it, I played it, and I spent $0 on it. Zero. So like, okay, well, it obviously costs EA money to make it. Also, it costs EA money to make the game, right? So, and then are there people buying the stuff that's in there in Apex Legends? I don't know. I mean, I know on Fortnite I bought the Battle Pass, and I bought, you know, actually I haven't bought any skins or anything, but on Fortnite I bought the Battle Pass. That's pretty much it. And I bought a couple of those. I spent like $20 on it, nothing crazy. But there's people that spend big dollars on Fortnite. Big dollars. We know that for a fact. EA, we don't know if people are going to buy the skins, if people are going to buy the whatever they sell in there. We don't know. Tim, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a fun game. But to do something in business for EA, obviously EA wants to make money from it. So right now it's, you know, you could have 100 million players and nobody pays. You know, you don't know if it's going to make money for them. Are they going to make money on the game, or are they not going to make money on the game? Just because people play it doesn't mean it's going to make any money. Yo, Richard, man, thank you. Richard's day one. Supporting the UBH. Thank you. Got 200 shares of ATVI. CGC. So you gotta wait for the financials for these games to come out, because just because it has hype doesn't mean anything. Because they could be losing millions of dollars a day for all we know, because it costs money to run those servers. You know. CGC was something that I traded a little bit, made a little bit of money on, nothing crazy. I'm getting away from the speculative stocks like weed stocks and stuff like that, and just because I was on a losing streak, and I'm really just trying to stay disciplined in trading stocks that I like to trade, stocks that I know to trade, and stocks that I've been very profitable in the past. And CGC is a speculative stock, so I'm not going to be trading that right now. But to me, like this 50 mark was definitely a big problem for it. You know, and the thing is with the weed stocks is, what I understand is that the price doesn't reflect anything that's happening right now. It's reflecting what's going to happen in the future. And what they're betting on is deregulation, growth in the weed industry, you know, deregulation or decriminalization, I guess you can call it, decriminalization of it, and the ability to buy it in regular places, or, you know, I don't know. We're in Illinois. I don't know how it works in like Michigan and Colorado and all those places that it's legal, and Vegas, and I don't know how any of that works. So, but apparently they're gonna, you know, it's supposed to be if they if like the U.S. says it's no longer like kind of like the Prohibition era when alcohol was no longer illegal, you know, it really opened it up, you know, bars and products and stuff like that, and that's kind of what they're thinking. Hey man, thank you. Thanks for the $10. Vitali, I don't know, Vitali. I butcher some of these names. I'm the worst. Yeah, Zynga's supposed to be making a turnaround. Zynga's making a turnaround. I mean, it's still a penny stock, but they broke out of range. I was actually reading about this. Their last quarter earnings. I was actually reading about this on Inc. magazine the other day. They interviewed the CEO, and they were, you know, it's really impressive for a company like Zynga, for a person or a CEO to lead a company out of a disaster. Like it's pretty amazing. I mean, they probably should be non-existent. I mean, once Farmville and all Mafia Wars and all those stuff, like Facebook started saying, hey, we don't want to see this stuff on our newsfeed because it's just like getting too much. Most companies, they would have closed down and said, okay, well, it was a nice run. We rode the Facebook gaming page as long as we could, and now we can't make money on it, and you know, it is what it is. But Zynga, they might pull through now. But however, Zynga, they're kind of a different type of gaming company. They're looking more into like card games and they bought a lot of companies that do like actual games, like board games and stuff like that. So Brendan, Baidu, got it. You got it. So Zynga, I'm not going to trade Zynga, but if you want to, it seems like they're trying to turn the ship around. Let's look at the I think we got to go to like what, the 5-year for them. Yeah, I mean, they're trying to make a push to the 5-year high here. Back in 5 years ago. I don't know, is anyone? Yeah, I mean, these are kind of traded. These are traded. You just got to be careful. See that? Probably just stick to the monthlies, I bet, on these guys. So it's hard for me. It's hard for me to trade stocks under $10. I mean, some people are good at it. Like, part of being a trader is understanding your strengths and your weaknesses. And for me, stocks under $10 is just, it's not for me. I made some money on Snap a couple of weeks ago, but it was like small money. Brendan, so Baidu, like I was talking about earlier, I don't know if you're here at the beginning, earlier in the stream, where I was saying that stocks that keep making lower highs, and Baidu is one of that. And if you don't know, like the Chinese stocks are facing a terrible time right now. Whether like Alibaba, in my opinion, should be worth at least double what it is. It should be like a $300 stock, at least 200, 250 range. But Wall Street is penalizing these stocks. Like, it's not fair. It's I'm not going to say it's not fair. I'm saying it's hard to justify the real value of the stock when politics are involved. Small money better than no money. I'm with that. I'm just saying that stocks under $10, my win rate is not particularly that high. So a style like this, like it's basically a short the high type of thing, where you'd just want to keep shorting these highs. Like you'd want to kind of visit 181 area. I mean, unless this makes a new high here, but all these highs just keep getting popped and dropped. Bought an Iron Condor on Baba yesterday, man. That took some. That's some. It's pretty bold, especially here. I mean, this is tough territory where it's going to accept or reject it. Accepts it 180, rejects it 150. It's always going to go down faster than it's going to go up. So I mean, I hope it works out for you. But I mean, Iron Condor or Baba, it's going to be an intense trade. It's going to be a chest 215. Daniel, another green day, up 20%. Congrats, Daniel. Glad you made some money today. There was some other PUBG is killing EA. I don't know about that. Do people play PUBG anymore? I think that game, and that isn't PUBG still in beta, but I think PUBG, I mean, they still made billions of dollars. I mean, just because if no one plays it and they make billions of dollars, I mean, good for them. Less work, more money. CMG's up $20 today. SC. Sorry, I'm going through these comments here if I miss some. Oh man, it's back above. CMG's back above 600. This is a tough stock to trade though if you're trading options on it, because the volume on the options are so poor, and then the bid and the ask are very wide, and then this thing moves a lot. Like on CMG, I would feel more comfortable, and I have in the past, selling a put credit spread on this, because you're getting a better you could set limit orders for your credits, and if you know how much things cost and how much credit you should get for the width of your strikes, then you'll be able to put limit orders and know when you're making money and when you're going to get ripped off. It's a lot easier. So like Chipotle, I know you can make a lot of money on calls and stuff like that and whatever, but I think it would be easier to make money on a put credit spread, just because you can do the math a lot easier, and you know how much money you should get for the width of the strikes, and you know that will determine if you're getting a good deal or not. Josh says I play PUBG. Hamed, can you look into Tesla? So Tesla was upgraded this morning. And it had a pop. I was actually really surprised that it got faded all day. You know, it had a nice pop, opened up at like 311, ran up to 318, and it just got dropped. I typically like to short it in like the 340 area up in here. It's when Tesla goes down, I mean, it really goes down really fast, and I feel like shorting the pops is easier than buying the dips on Tesla, just because, like, I mean, yes, you can make money on both directions here, but buying the dip on Tesla always just seems so hard to do. I don't know why. For me, it always seems easier to short the rips on Tesla than it is to buy the dips, because some of them, these dips are just like, they're hard to stomach. They're definitely hard to stomach. Hamed, we really need to get to like the 330 area, above 325, for it to continue up. Otherwise, it may just coast in the low 300s. I mean, we have pretty wide range here, which is pretty good. So right now it's making good for trading because it's pretty wide range. I don't know what the expected move. $13. I mean, it moved 7 today. 3, 2. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to get a good deal on there and to play safer swing trade. I mean, yes, you could day trade this, but you got to know what you're doing, because the premiums are rich, and you have to know what you're doing on Tesla. Like, if you've never traded Tesla before, like, I would highly recommend paper trading that thing. It's a beast. It's a beast. Long or short, doesn't matter. It's a beast. And understand its personality and understand how it moves, because yes, it can make you money very easily. You could have like some sort of beginner's luck and stuff like that. But if you continually trade it and you don't really know how to trade it, it's gonna rip your face off. It's going to. It's not about when. It will come. And it's like T5. It's hard. It's hard because, I mean, a few months ago, Elon, like, crazy things were happening, right? Elon was smoking weed. He was saying, like, he would tweet out, like, you know, I'm gonna take it private at 420. Like, that was insanity. Like, that was like crazy. And then if you don't remember, like, if you look at 2017, 2016 area, the main headlines were there's always like some weird catalyst with Tesla, and I honestly think that, I mean, I do kind of believe that they're out to get Elon just because, I mean, why not, right? Why would anyone want to play fair? But like anytime a Tesla would get in a car accident in like 2016, 2017 area, it would drop the stock like no other. And they would keep doing these reports. It would drop it. And, you know, it's kind of a scam because like how many times there's a Ford in a car accident per day? How many times is a GM or a Nissan or a Toyota in a terrible car accident, or even recalls? Like if something happens to Ford and there's like a recall, nothing really that bad happens to Ford or GM. But like if a recall happens to Tesla, this stock's going to drop 30-40%. I mean, it's like, it's not fair, but it's what happens. So if you don't know how to trade it, and you don't know how to trade those events, like, it's gonna rip your face off. So, I mean, I like Elon. I like Tesla. I had Tesla stock. I was holding from 150. I sold it for 315. And the reason why I sold it, was because, let's go to the 2-year. Is because of the long, when I sold it, they were having trouble with their factories. They couldn't hit any milestones, and I was getting kind of concerned that like, hey, this could really like turn against them. And if you guys know, like, I've talked about this before with Elon, like betting against Elon Musk. Like betting against Elon Musk is very hard to do because he's, I mean, if you think about being an entrepreneur, if anyone here is an entrepreneur or has started a business, if you understand the sweat equity and the amount of work he's put into the company, how many hours of his life has he invested? Is he gonna lay down and take the L? Is he just gonna say like, well, it was a nice shot, we'll just close the factory and have a nice day? Like, no, he's not gonna do that. He's gonna fight until he's dead. He will fight till the death to keep this company afloat. I guarantee it. It's his baby. He's invested probably all of his hair if he didn't have fake hair. I mean, he invested a lot. He sacrificed everything, put everything on the line, everything. So he's not going to go down easy. But that being said, I sold it because they weren't hitting their production. They were having trouble with the factories. They couldn't get their act together. And if you look at the growth, there has been no growth in 2 years for the. I mean, yes, this is crazy. But there has been no reward for the shareholders in 2 years. That's why I sold. T5, I'm not saying it's fake. I'm just not saying it's real. I'll let you do your own research. It's not really that important. It's not really that important. His vision is disruptive to the car industry. That's why they got out to get him. Yeah, exactly. Roku, and that's a little bit longer of a Tesla rant than we wanted here. Roku. I don't know why it would go from 26 to 46. Does anybody know why Roku? Did they do something? I mean, I have no idea. I typically don't trade Roku. They have good volume on the options. It's moving. I mean, it's been moving. It's been moving slow in this, but I mean, it's been consistent. So like for a stock like Roku, you know, it's only expected to move. I would, like, if I was buying calls on this, I would do something like, I would probably buy like the March or the Aprils. You know, the uptrend is undeniable, and if it needs to get above like 51 here, try to fill this gap. I don't know if it's going to go to 77 again. I mean, this was nuts. Excellent, what's going on, man? Oh, there's rumors Roku is buying, Disney was buying out Roku. But why would Disney want Roku? They're developing their own streaming service and stuff. Unless Disney wants to get in the hardware business, but I don't know. I don't know why. I have no idea. If I'm just reading the chart, I would for me, I would wait till it gets above 52, and then I would put up probably a bullish trade on. Like it's tough in here. It could also consolidate in here for like a month or two, which would kill your premium. So like if I was gonna do something, let's say I wanted to just buy calls on it, I would do something like 60 days out. I would buy some these 60s, or yeah, I don't think I would go to July. I would probably just do these Aprils if I was going to buy calls. Shop has earnings this week. Roku's out of fashion. Somehow, I mean, they were going down. The ship was going down fast and caught some momentum somehow. I have no idea. I don't typically like Roku because I don't trade Roku. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't typically trade Roku because I don't really know enough about their company. I don't have any Roku products. I don't have anything Roku. So I have no idea if the Roku product is good. I mean, I have an Apple TV and Amazon Fire and stuff like that, which I understand, but I don't have a Roku, so I have no idea. But if I was going to trade the chart above 52, shop is tomorrow morning. I always get leery when stocks are at these type of highs right before earnings. It could bust through, but also as you guys know here, shop is definitely, it does look like a great day trading options trading stock, not necessarily day trading. It looks a lot like Tesla, a lot of volatility, a lot of gap ups, a lot of gap downs. Looks to be like a great stock to trade, right? And also, like, you know, a lot of people like to short it, and you know, it's fun. The only thing that I would say though is the volume is actually very good this week compared to normally, because they have earnings coming up on the options. But normally options are like so dried up. Like next week's only like 500, only 40 puts on the call side, and the puts are like non-existent, not even 100 on some of these strikes, on all the strikes. So it makes it tough to trade. It looks like this looks like a great chart to trade options on. Roku is life. So I've actually traded shop a while ago. I made money on it. It's just hard to trade it with such low volume. I wish more people would trade options on it, because this is a great stock to trade options on. It just is. The moves exceed expectations. I mean, it's a good stock. I mean, go from 170 down to 133 in a couple of days, and this is kind of what I was saying about like Nvidia. Don't think it can't do these kind of drops like Nvidia, because it definitely can. Well, anyways, we got about 2 minutes left. If you're liking the content, hit the like button. I want to give thanks to Richard in Italy. Again, thank you for your donations today. Really appreciate it. Any last minute questions here? If you're new here, say what up. We want to meet you. You could join the UVH community with the links below. We got links to Discord and Facebook. What's your best top 5 option stocks to trade? Obviously, I know you don't only, but I would say it always changes because of the market and the market that we're in. But right now, I guess let's say for the last 6 months, the stocks that have been my top earners have been Alibaba, Microsoft, IBM, Goldman Sachs. No, that's 4, but those are really the ones that made me a lot of gains in the last 6-7 months. Well, excellent. Luckily for you, this whole thing is recorded and available immediately after the stream. EA is going up to 102.55. Yeah, I mean, I want EA to. I mean, I don't necessarily like EA in the way that they make their games and the way that they do things. I mean, Apex Legends is a lot of fun. It's great. I hope they do well. You don't want to see people go out of business, but you also want people to make a good product and care about their customers. And when people don't make a good product and they don't care about their customers, or let's say they make a good product but they don't care about their customers, like you don't want to, you don't feel so bad when that company goes down a little bit because you're like, hey man, you really screw your customers. Like, why'd you do that? Customers would support you if you cared about them, but if you don't care about them, then they're not going to support you. And EA for a long time has not cared about. They've only cared about the bottom line. They've not thought about gamers. And Apex Legends is a milestone for them because it's the first game I think that they actually put thought into caring about the gamers. So if that's the case, then they can go up. They can go up. I would be happy for them. But if they start doing some weird microtransaction stuff on here and start rolling things out, it's gonna be weird. Anyways, we're at an hour. Definitely appreciate you all. Stay green, stay safe. It's always us versus herd.